Hello and welcome to Hidden Magic Studio. Today we're talking about zines and how they can fit into your witchcraft and tarot practice, and we'll specifically talk about these mini zines. They're easy to make, and the only tools you need are a piece of paper, a scissors, and something to write with. In this video, I'll show you some examples. I'll share ideas for how to use these in your witchcraft and tarot practice, and at the end of the video, I'll show you how to fold them. So let's get started. You can make all sorts of witchy things with these zines. I used to be a teacher and I made these with my students, and then I started making them for myself. You can make them fully by hand and they can just be really simple and messy, right? They're just for you. You can make them on a computer. So I have a Canva template that I made and I create these using that, which if you check the description, I'll tell you how to get my template if you want to start making them for yourself. And then you can do some where it's kind of a mix, right? I printed these pictures, but then I just wrote on it and decorated it. I printed these, bullet points here. So you really can do whatever you want. Collage, you can sew on them, paint, pen, marker. Just let your mind go to whatever medium you like and whatever works for you. Another thing to think about is, some of these are decorated. And some of them are just really packed full of words, like this one. These are tarot questions. And I just wanted to use every bit of space to pack in more and more questions. You can use these mini zines for mini grimoires. So here's one for protection. Got my tiny magic. Got one about poppets. So let's look through this protection one. In here I've got plants, crystals, symbols, words of power, and quick spells for protection. I've got these here. I started collecting my ideas about little discreet, easy to do spells that don't take a lot of materials. And I started collecting them, and then I wrote it up and put them in my shop. And I've got these 2 volumes now. This one's sort of general. This one's specifically about music. You can make a little mini grimoire about, honestly, anything. Crystals, runes, herbs, color correspondences, divination, whatever you want. I don't have examples of these ideas, but you could write up your spells in mini zines. You could write up a devotional or make a prayer book to a deity. And these all, let's grab the things that I would consider little mini grimoires out of here. And I'll show you how to store them. So you could store these in, a sachet bag. This is kind of a large tarot card bag that you could keep them in. You could keep them in a zipper pouch. They fit pretty great in there. Or you can keep them in a recipe box. They fit nice and snug inside of a recipe box. You can also make altars with your mini zines. These are great for travel or for people who have limited space. These are also great if you need to practice more discreetly. You can't leave your stuff out everywhere. This is an example altar to self and about loving myself. So I've got little sections in here with the work I've done around self-love. I have these 2 archetypes that really represent for me kind of what I'm going for around self-love. I've got a reminder and a list of things I like about myself. So if I was using this as an altar, I could just set it up. Right, they would stand on a table. Could set this up and do some devotional work here, maybe light a candle, do a little energy work, whatever feels right to you. It's really easy to take down and tuck away, use it whenever you want it or need it. One of my favorite ways to use these mini zines is for tarot. I went absolutely wild for these zines when I realized they fit into standard size boxes. So this is a tuck box, and they fit really easily in there. And let me show you with one more style of box. Another common deck a lot of people have. And you can just pop them right in there. And so you can keep these with you. I really don't like having my phone or my computer out when I'm reading. So these help me collect questions and spreads to use during readings. These are great for reading for other people too. Like this one, you could just have at your table. So if people aren't quite sure what they want a reading on, it's like a little menu sort of, or it gives them ideas of where they could start. So some of these I make, like this one, it's just a list of questions, but some of them also have, let me find one. Some of them also have spreads. And you can see when you make your zines, sometimes you can keep to each single page, or sometimes you can also go over the page because you do have these spreads in there. And the template, the Canva template, sort of shows you how that works. And again, that's going to be down in the description. I'll show you how to get it. This is probably the one I use the most in my own life. This is sort of where it started for me, this and the questions to ask your cards. And I do sell these ones. The ones that you can see are totally printed out. I do have these in my shop, but they all started because I wanted them. And I think that tarot and witching for self-love has been unbelievably transformative in my life. And so I keep this at my desk all the time, and I return to it quite a lot. Another tarot purpose for these would be your card of the year. So I'm working on a zine for my own personal card of the year. It's not done yet, but I'm sort of building questions to ask myself around different areas of life that all pertain to my card of the year. I really try to do a deep dive and do transformative work with my personal card of the year every year. Some of these are things that I've learned from other people. So I marked this as for my use only because these are from Tarot Shrink out here. So these are just questions I can ask myself around the majors. You can also use it for study. These are ideas that I've come up with around studying tarot, or ideas I've been inspired by other people. And here's another one that was inspired. This is from Lexi at Light Wands. Just love her questions. And so when I come across a question that really resonates, I jot it down and keep them together. I would really love to hear in the comments your ideas for how you might use these mini zines for witching or for tarot. I love to talk to other people about their creative practice. So please let me know if you've got ideas for how you might use them. All right, let me show you how to make these. All you need is a piece of paper, a scissors, and something to write with. I'm in the United States. This is a standard printer paper. It's 8.5 by 11. You can really use any size paper you have. If you can get your hands on 11 by 17, that makes a much larger book in the end. Just a note for the tarot zines, the 11 by 17 will be too big to fit in a box. If you're in another country and this is not your standard size, it doesn't matter. Just use whatever you have. So first step is to fold in half the long way. And I'm going to do this pretty quickly, but it's really important that you line these edges and these corners up really well so that your book looks a little tidier in the end. You can use the back of your nail to make a nice crease. You can use the handle of your scissors. If you have a bone folder, you can use that too. But I highly recommend getting a nice crease on these and being really tidy about lining up the corners. Okay, so we're folded in half this way, open, fold in half the other way. Now you have the fold on one side and the two open flaps. Fold the open flap back on itself towards that center crease. Turn the paper over and do the same. Fold that flap back over on itself towards the center crease. Flatten those down. And now you're going to make one cut. So open up again. You're looking for that center fold. So these flaps are on this side. You're going to cut from this very center fold. Only cut halfway in from the fold to the center. Don't cut all the way through. Then take these two edges that you just cut, press them toward each other, and then just wrap the pages around themselves. And you have a mini zine. There's the front, the two center pages, the next, and the back cover. This is what the finished zine looks like when it's open and when it's closed. And that's it. Just a reminder, I've got instructions in the description on how you can get your hands on my Canva template. And I really would love to hear what your ideas are for what you might do with these little mini zines. Thanks for watching, and I hope this gave you creative ideas for your own witch crafting.